All right, let's run through another Mtel question. This one says, use the graph below to answer the question that follows. And we've got this coordinate grid with a triangle on it. It says triangle ABC is reflected over y equals x and then rotated 180 degrees counterclockwise about the origin to create triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. Which of the following graphs represents triangle A prime, B prime, C prime? And we've got all these images. So this problem involves transformations. The first transformation that happens is a reflection over y equals x, and then we're going to rotate the shape 180 degrees counterclockwise. So here's a list of the possible transformations that you could do to a shape and what ends up happening. So hopefully this will be useful in this problem. Be sure to refer back to this if necessary, if you get confused at any point. All right, so first we want to talk about reflecting over y equals x. Well, the graph of y equals x looks like this. It's a line with a slope of 1 and no y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0. So if we have the equation of y equals mx plus b, the m value is 1 and the b value is 0. So this is a line that looks like this. It goes from the bottom left of the graph to the top right. Thinking about reflecting over this is kind of tricky. So the rule for this reflection is that we take each point and we switch the x and the y value. So if we're thinking about c, the old c value was at negative 3 comma 1. The new c value would be at 1 comma negative 3. And then a was at negative 2 comma positive 5. It would now be at 5 comma negative 2. So if we draw this triangle after the reflection, it's going to look something like this. Not a perfect drawing, but hopefully you can see what I'm going for here. So that reflection sort of turns the shape, which is maybe counterintuitive. You might recognize that something in the top left quadrant would go to the bottom right, but seeing it turn is sort of strange. But that's exactly what happens. If you were to take a piece of paper and fold it over, you would see that the shape ends up turning. So this is our new shape. And then we have to consider a 180 degree counterclockwise rotation. So that's like flipping your computer upside down. So bottom right goes to top left. In terms of the rules that I showed you before, when you have a 180 degree rotation, the x and the y value of the old points just switch signs. We just make negatives positives and we make positives negatives. So this new point for b of 1 comma negative 1 would become negative 1 comma positive 1, which is the old b point. So b would map right back onto b. C, which is 1 comma negative 3, would become negative 1 comma positive 3. And a would become negative 5 comma positive 2. So if we're looking at our answers, that looks a lot like D.